Ladies and gentlemen, welcome here on the YouTube channel to Kalamazoo FC's live stream of this Great Lakes divisional matchup in the USLW as the hometown Eagles, Kalamazoo FC, taking on Detroit City FC, the top dog in the Great Lakes division right now of the USLW, as they sit, like I said, atop the division 4-0, 4 matches played only, a goal differential of +8, 9 to only 1 goal scored on them the entire year, as Flint City AFC, the only one to get into the back of the net against Shriver and company. As in between the posts, it could be a challenge to score today. We'll see what the ladies of Kalamazoo FC have production-wise, as into the starting 11 for Kalamazoo FC. Up top, Kennedy Bearden, Akema Mockery, Callie Cunningham, followed by in the midfield, Bailey Cornhorn wearing the number 9, Maddie Canada number 6, and number 2, Claudia Music. In the back line, Ariana Stolfis, Mackenzie Ford, Brielle Gomez, Kyla Newcomb. As in between the posts, Kaylin Junk returning for Kalamazoo FC, and the bench of Wilberding, Thompson, Muser, Whitehead, Moore, Jones, and French, as they're going to be welcoming in the starting 11 for Detroit, as the starting up front, Crum, Romine, Kane, followed by the middle fielders of Childers, Mason, Paget, Martin, Peters, Murphy, and Solis make up the back line, as Gabby Shriver in between the posts for Detroit City FC, as Kalamazoo looking for a big win today here in Great Lakes divisional play, as looking to keep their playoff hopes alive. If they were to sneak a win here today against the top dogs, hand them the first loss of their 24 campaign, it would still look promising, as we're about halfway through this season. Only through the month of June is the play for Great Lakes division, as the next time these two teams will see each other after today is going to be the very last game for both these two teams, end of the season. So this one very much important, as the very last one, as everybody knows these games, every single one of them matter from start to finish, as Kalamazoo going to be looking today to get out to a quick start, as when they can get out in front of teams, try to not look back, it usually ends up being pretty good. Seems to be anyways, as we're just getting into the starting minutes of this match. The one thing that Kalamazoo FC has done really well this year is just keeping pace on teams and getting out to those starts. They've had a couple of rough ones and a couple of 1-0 losses to Midwest United and AFC Ann Arbor, as they also had a rough start with a tie here at home, Mayor's Riverfront Park, the location today, a sunny Kalamazoo, Michigan. It's the last time we were seen here Saturday. Kind of a drizzly day for the doubleheader, but sunny conditions here today nonetheless, as Detroit trying to make something happen inside their offensive zone, trying to get something out to Kane. However, just a little far was the attempt from Detroit. Still early, trying to just get good possessions, find the holes and expose them. Good possession there for Detroit City. Just you need to keep a little bit longer, make a bit smarter passing decisions, but we still got 90 minutes or so to go in this one. Very beginning here, first half of action. Not even 2 minutes gone by. Still tied up, 0-0. Using the head, the midfielder, number 8, Maya Solis. Just going to go out of bounds, and Kalamazoo takes over possession. Stolfis with the toss-in, and then Detroit takes over right off the toss-in. However, off a bad pass, though, goes Kennedy Bearden, trying to set something up. Kalamazoo FC, middle of the field, but off a bad pass, taken away. Detroit City now. Some pressure up the middle. They're going to give this one to Paget. Down the left side, it goes into Crum. Crum trying to get something against Newcomb, but Newcomb just going to stick one in there, as she's going to give to Bearden. Bearden's pass right back to Newcomb, going to roll out of bounds. Detroit taking over offensive zone for them. Could be dangerous. And then the official's actually going to say last touch by Detroit, so Kalamazoo takes over in their defensive zone. As the last game, last Saturday, for Kalamazoo FC, a 4-0 win over Flint, and a big 4-0 win over the defending Great Lakes champions. However, Flint only sent 10 people It's played start to finish with just 10, so a much-needed win for Kalamazoo to get back on track and keep going, setting their focuses high. As a good way to slow up the possession for Detroit. Good defense played by Newcomb on that far side. Now they're going to send a shot into the 18. Shooters around, but a good save made by Kalen Junks. The shot on goal, but good use of the hands from Junk. Going to send that out of bounds. Here comes a corner kick, though, for Detroit. So still early minutes. Dangerous territory here. Detroit could do something with it and find their way out ahead of teams. It's like I said, scoring against this Detroit team could be a little hard. They've only let up 1 goal all season, so trying to get in between the post and in the back of the net against Shriver and company could be dangerous, but a good corner kick defended by Kalamazoo. As this one for Detroit going to be Crum playing into the middle of the field as Kalamazoo going to take over. Free kick here. Mackenzie Ford going to send this one down that left sideline, looking for Corhorn. However, just a little bit underneath it as it's going to go from Peters back into Shriver. Detroit looking to set something up on top of the field. So they're going to go far side now, approaching middle of the field. Callie Cunningham giving chase off a bad pass. Music going to take this one away. Play into Kent State now. Transfer to Western Michigan. Callie Cunningham. And then back into Newcomb in that back line. So you need to play smart with it. Goes Kalamazoo FC. They're going to play a ball left side to Stolfus. Stolfus going to try and put the wheels on here, but well defended there by number 8, Maya Solis of Detroit FC. And back into that back line it goes. Just trying to get around the setup of Kalamazoo FC. Playing smart with the ball goes Detroit. And then poked out by Stolfus. Good defense to slow up. Let Kalamazoo reset. Solis looking to go as another whistle. And a free kick here for Detroit. It's going to set them up well. In possession, they can get something started here. Not too deep in their defensive zone, but trying to get something across middle of the field off the foot of Peters towards that left sideline. Then it's just going to hop out of bounds. Last touch by Romine. As Sophia Romine, just a bad bounce off the chest. Stolfus plays into Corhorn. Kalamazoo FC veteran going to go one of the newcomers, Brielle Gomez, and send it over on that right side to Newcomb. Newcomb now going to go over to Music. Music back to Canada. Smart possession sent up to Cunningham. And then a bad bounce off the shin guard from Cunningham. Going to go right back to Detroit. Trying to disrupt it is Kalamazoo. And then Cunningham going to use the speed. And a nice takeaway here for Kalamazoo FC. Back into the back line. Trying to create some separation. Go the Eagles. Cunningham not ready for it on that right side. Has the pass right over there to Paget. Good read by Romine, and Detroit City set up here attacking that offensive zone. A pass over the middle. A shot's going to be rung off, but that's going to go up over the post. Nothing there challenging Junk as still early in this game. 7 minutes gone by, scoreless. One of these teams in the Great Lakes Division looking to set each other out in front. However, still scoreless in these early going. Junk with a goal kick. Right at that 8-minute mark. She's going to play this one right side. Looking for Cunningham, but not deep enough and more towards that sideline. It's just going to roll out of bounds. Detroit going to take over. Trying to set up a smart possession here on that far sideline. They're going to play it in. A couple of Eagles all over that, though. And it's going to be last touch by Kalamazoo FC. So Detroit still just going to have possession here in their attacking zone. or looking to get into the attacking zone, I should say. Offensive side of the field, as that one's quickly sent out of bounds. Last touch by Newcomb, so deeper and deeper they go down that sideline. So now they're going to get something over to Paget. Paget then losing it. Newcomb just going to send this one back towards the middle of the field, a little bit deeper, but Detroit still with possession. So they're going to play a ball over right side. Not going to find that sideline, but still remain with it. It's now off of Romine. It's going to go to Childers. And bouncing around now for Detroit. Trying to get something dangerously going. But a good defensive stand there. Matty Canada going to get it out. And now Claudia Music going to play a ball up there for the speedy Cunningham. Cunningham trying to get something against Peters. Peters, though, just going to play it into Shriver. And Shriver's going to reset over there with Drew Martin on that left sideline. A Mockery defending, trying to give chase. And then a ball played up that left sideline. And then Kalamazoo just going to reset, try and get something in between the post to Junk. Now with Corhorn over the middle of the field. Over to Newcomb now, right sideline, shooting over the middle now, trying to get a Mockery underneath it. As the whistle's going to come out of play, a Mockery. Not trying to do anything with intention, but having a body hit the floor in Drew Martin. Right in front of that referee. She's going to see that all the time. Free kick here coming for Detroit City. 10 minutes gone by. Good free kick now, setting something dangerously up. But Detroit needing to take better shot selection as defenders right in front of Paget right there. And then a takeaway quickly goes Newcomb. She's going to play something over middle of the field to a Mockery, just a little bit too much underneath it. And a quick takeaway. Detroit in their attacking zone, trying to set up and give them some space. They're going to switch up sides of the field, come closer now towards the fans in that sideline. As this one's going to be number 8, Solis. Solis plays something, looking towards the middle of the field to Romine. She's going to find number 37, Kane. It's Ella Kane slipping up and losing possession now. Still giving chase, though, goes Detroit. And then now a little bit of breathing room goes Kalamazoo FC. Up on top of the field goes Newcomb, playing into Cunningham. Cunningham trying to get around the defender. However, a little bit of jersey tugging, and the referee's going to call it. As you can see, the speed from Cunningham kind of get drugged back, but man, oh man, the wheels on Cunningham trying to create the separation. Newcomb going to play this ball, something into Corhorn inside the 18. Going to take a bad bounce off the foot. However, Cunningham going to try and stick with it. Some collision. It's outside the 18, and then a shot's going to ring off, but a little bit left of the goal, so nothing on goal. But still trying to set up something from range goes Kalamazoo FC. Trying to test Shriver and that defensive line for Detroit City. Kalamazoo trying to just find an area where Detroit's going to slip up along the back line. But so far, this back line really impressive of Detroit. Not making many errors, but we're still only just 12 minutes into this ball game. So both these teams just testing the waters. Kalamazoo with a little bit of breathing room. Going to play something over the middle. However, nobody around the zone. That one was sent straight over to Shriver, and she's just going to make that all day. Easy play there. Shriver's just going to send this one towards midfield. Musig going to get something underneath it, but off the touch it goes to Detroit. Bad pass from Detroit. It's going to be taken by Kalamazoo FC. Played into a Mockery. A Mockery trying to get something across from Shriver, and then left it goes. Shriver really getting a little bit of help there off the foot of a Mockery. Just a little left it goes, but a chance there. Detroit, though, going to get a sigh of relief from the fans here at Mayor's Riverfront Park as a dangerous attempt it goes for a Mockery. There's that first mess up in that back line that Kalamazoo's looking for. Mockery able to find her way into the the 18, but not able to capitalize and put that punctuation mark across and get out ahead. Still 0-0, or 0-0, they say, across the pond. Romine now. Looking like she was going to play deep, play short into Paget. She's going to try and go over to Paget. However, it's going to go in to Kane. It's back and forth between teammates. It goes for Detroit City, and now they're going to find Solis. Then back across midfield and setting something up. Switching sides of the field, they're going to go far side. As off the head of Newcomb, it's going to come down to Cunningham. Cunningham going to have a little bit of breathing room, showing off the speed. Trying to set some separation up, but slipping up and stepping on the ball, but getting up quickly and back into play it goes. So luckily, not rolling anything because that was a dangerous play, stepping over top of the ball. However, luckily, she's going to walk away. Get back to it quicker than anybody else. Kalamazoo FC. It's Detroit now tempting waters midfield. They're going to get a pass over the middle to Paget. So now there's going to be a ball played over on that right side, and getting to its number 37, Ella Kane, but then out of bounds, and it's going to be a corner kick as it's going to go off Ariana Stolfus, and dangerous possession now here for Detroit. They can find something. Looking against that back post of Junk, more than likely, they're going to try and get a couple of people in the box. So they're going to try and get something testing that left side. However, good use of the back line, and Junk's going to have a real easy corner kick there. Well round of far sideline now. Out of bounds it goes. Last touch by Cunningham. So Detroit going to set up with the toss in. 16 minutes gone by. All tied up, still 0-0. Bad touch by Detroit off the toss in. Kalamazoo going to get something up, but not a lot of separation over there. It's quickly up to a mockery. It goes. Musig trying to set something over the middle. But Detroit's going to sniff it out first. And then a bad touch. And bodies hitting the ground. Cunningham going to get the call. And it's going to set up dangerous territory here for Kalamazoo to strike. Try and get something in between the posts against Shriver. 16 minutes approaching that 17th. Still outside of the 18, but definitely range to send something towards that back post or look for Corhorn, whoever's going to be inside that 18. There's a mockery Corhorn. Forward. Musig. A lot of ways you can go. Kennedy Bearden's inside the 18. All atop as they're going to be breaking inside as the ball's played in. Looking for somebody along the back post. Ford was there, but not able to get anything inside. As both teams trying to point something towards where that ball was played. However, nothing's coming of it, and there's just going to be a goal kick here for Shriver, and Detroit's going to try and set something up in good terms here with this possession. They're just going to play short corner and send it up towards the middle of the field. However, Stolfish going to get a good read and send it out of bounds. Looks like a little bit of push come to shove. However, they're just going to play on. As now here goes something for Emily Paget around that right side. She's going to test Junk, but making a scooping save goes Kaylin Junk. As another round of applause from the fans goes towards that back line of Junk. However, almost some scary scenes as Paget was able to get around. Nothing, though, as clean and a good effort from Kaylin Junk still keeps this game tied 0-0. Stolfish trying to put on the fancy footwork, but she's just going to go back into Mackenzie Ford. And Ford's going to play this into Kaylin Junk. Junk switching up sides, looking for Newcomb over on that sideline. However, it's going to be a little far, and out of bounds it rolls off the foot of Kalen Junk. There's nothing going in their offensive zone for Detroit. A couple of bad bounces, and it's going to wind up with Kalamazoo FC. A toss in from Kyla Newcomb. As this one's into Corhorn, but Corhorn draped with defenders around her. Detroit's going to get an easy takeaway. Inside their offensive zone is going to be with Childers. Childers plays to Paget. And Paget's going to slow things down here. Detroit now shooting something over on that left sideline, but it's going to roll out of bounds. Last touch by Detroit, so Kalamazoo with the toss in deep in their defensive zone. So still got to be careful not to slip up and give an easy one to Detroit. Ball's played in from Newcomb into Corhorn. Corhorn, two defenders around her, trying to get something toward the middle of the field, but giving up to Detroit. And then nobody around the passing lane from Detroit, so rolls in, and Junk's just going to pick this one up, try and play something middle of the field. That's where I would have to guess. She's got a couple of players she could go to. She's going to look for a mockery up top, but it's just going to be deep off the foot of Junk, so Shriver's going to have something with these inside her 18, picking it up and looking to set Detroit something same. Slow ball played over with Cunningham giving chase, but nothing going. Good pressure from Kalamazoo. However, it's going to open up some things middle of the field. Detroit trying to give some chase. They're going to play it left side now. This one's over for Hannah Crum. Hannah Crum going to strike with that left foot, but however, it's going to wind up wide left. As easy read there for Kalen Junk, and Kalamazoo looking to get a good possession in here against Detroit. Haven't had many since the slip up in the back line with the shot and a mockery. Just sailing a little bit wide left. Definitely a big moment in this game that Kalamazoo missed to capitalize on, but many more to come from both these teams. So just looking to finish with that punctuation mark into the back of the net as Kalamazoo's looking to get it in against Shriver. But Detroit's trying to do the same thing against our own Kalen Junk. So far, early minutes, respectful soccer being played, but slide tackle, a dangerous slide tackle, but good effort nonetheless. Brielle Gomez inside the 18. Whenever they get diving inside that 18 box, everybody starts holding the breath, but good effort from Gomez. Then something chipped over, but easily taken care of by Junk. Everybody in Mayor's Riverfront Park wondering who's going to be the first one to answer. This one off the foot of Junk going to be played well deep in front of a Mockery and Corhorn. Not able to get to it as it's just going to be rolled out left side and over to Emily Paget. So now it's going right side here to Solis. Solis trying to get something back from her teammate. I think Canada's a little bit of pressure's played on from Detroit, but Stolfus going to find over the middle of the field Musig. A couple of ball fakes, going to set up a little bit of separation, and then back into Maddie Canada. Canada off the foot, looking for Corhorn. Played a little deep. Detroit going to walk away. Easy takeaway for them. Then poked out by Claudia Musig, CMU zone. In this matchup is getting towards that 24-minute mark. Still scoreless, 0-0. This Detroit team looking to keep their perfect season on the line. 4-0, only 4 matches played. Kalamazoo 6 matches to their year. As right now, the Eagles in Great Lakes competition sitting at 3 wins, 2 losses, and a tie. The tie coming against AFC Ann Arbor in the home opener, a 1-1 match. Really good 90 minutes being played for both teams. As this one, feeling like it could go a similar direction. Both these teams still looking for that first one against each other. As it could be a first one, could be a one and done, who knows. Kalamazoo having a couple of those this year. Looking for one, though. A 1-0 score to go their way, that is. Having a couple go against them. Having one against Midwest United and AFC Ann Arbor, both on away territory. So looking to get one their own way on home advantage. However, a long ball played to Stolfus. That one's going to roll out of bounds, so a toss in here for Detroit. Detroit back and forth it goes, middle of the field, now crossing. A couple of good slide tackles, but still sticking with possession goes Detroit. Just trying to get that ball away, and then a bad pass is going to lead to a turnover with Stolfus. Stolfus going to play something up that left sideline. Keeping it in bounds goes Sophia Romine. Then switching up directions of the field goes Detroit. They're going to play up to Paget on that left side. Paget going to fake right and go left. But then send something towards Junk's direction. Not really tempting the goal. It's just going to roll out of bounds. Setting up a goal kick here for Kaylin Junk. "26 minutes gone by. Still scoreless as we're halfway through this first half. Here at Mayor's Riverfront. Just a little bit over halfway. As a ball played over top to Cunningham, giving chase. And the defender going to get to it first. So that one going to be Maya Solis. Then last touch by Detroit. The referee's going to say, so a corner kick coming here for Kalamazoo FC. Hattie Canada looking to send this one inside the 18. With some dangerous intents to find something that's going to challenge the keeper, Shriver. Only having 1 goal scored between her and the other goalkeepers for Detroit this whole season. Looking to keep that impressive mark right where it's at as this one's going to be played. Looking for something over along that back post, and then it's punched out by Shriver. As a slide tackle, going to poke this one out, but still Kalamazoo with possession now. Playing something over top. Looking for a header from Corhorn, however. Well defended by Avery Peters. Shriver going to get some help there from the back line once again. Like we said, it's going to take some impressive feats for Kalamazoo to get in between the posts and around that back line. It's now offensively Detroit with it. They're going to get around Stolfus. Romine's got something she could play in, but that's just going to go left side. Excuse me, Kane. Just going to go right side. Nothing challenging Kaylin Junk. 28 minutes now gone by here. Mayor's Riverfront, and we're still looking for that first one to be netted for either team. We're all tied up, 0-0. Kalamazoo with it near middle of the field. It's off the foot from a Mockery. It's going to go to Musig. Claudia Musig just going to play the back line. Sneakily, Ella Kane almost getting a dangerous takeaway. However, secured with it goes the keeper for Kalamazoo. Newcomb going to go over right side. Far sideline. She's going to play something up for Korhorn. Korhorn around the defense. She's got something she could do here, but looking like it's going to be deflected. So good defense played by Detroit. And once again, getting a break there as the breakaway for Kalamazoo looking a little dangerous. As it's going to be a water breakdown on the field. So with that, we're going to take a minute. We're going to thank our sponsors. Thank you for tuning in to the live stream on YouTube for Kalamazoo FC. As tied up here, 30 minutes gone by, nothing to nothing, as we'll be back here as play resumes at Mayor's Riverfront Park here in Kalamazoo, Michigan. From a Mockery, into a Mockery. And it's going to go out of bounds. Detroit now with possession. It's now Detroit with it. Over the middle. Something dangerously. Kalamazoo defenders trying to catch up. As the shot's going to be rung off. Junkto, diving save, going to be made with the one hand. Still Detroit with possession. They're going to go back and forth through teammates. It goes. Another shot going to be rung off, and another diving effort, but off the post it's going to go, and Detroit getting closer to finding that first goal. However, efforts made from Kaylin Junk. My goodness. Kalamazoo looking to find some breathing room, getting this one out over the middle. However, not much breathing room as Peter's going to keep it with Detroit. Still trying to keep the pressure on in their attacking zone. As Sloan up, still with possession though. Detroit goes with it to Solis. Solis going to go over the back. And then now something played into the 18. Gomez giving chase. And a good assist there. And deflected off of Detroit. As if Junk can get something going. Preferably before middle of the field. Stolfus having a little bit of separation closer towards this bottom sideline on your screen. And she's going to play it over towards her. Stolfus going to take a good read off the bounce and try and get around Sophia Romine. However, she's going to slip up and give it right back to Crum. Then Hannah Crum going to try and play something in to Paget, but well defended by Claudia Music, not letting Paget get to it as it's going to roll out of bounds. Last touch by Detroit, so Kalamazoo with some chances here now. Detroit trying to get something out of Kalamazoo's attacking zone, but still sticking with it. Go the Eagles, trying to set something up in towards a Mockery. As then Akema now draped with defenders all over. Going to play it back into Stolfus. Stolfus trying to go around right or left side with it. Played back into a Mockery. A Mockery, though, just going to get something bouncing off of Kate Childers. As it's going to set up another corner kick here for Kalamazoo FC. Off the foot of Canada, it's going to be something to chest. The keeper for Detroit, as Shriver still keeping it clean in between the posts here. It's now a 3-on-2 attack. Still with numbers go, Kalamazoo FC. As some fancy footwork trying to test Kalen Junk, but up top it goes. Just a little bit over top of the net. A good look though for Detroit. As now the attacking numbers towards the end of this half for Detroit starting to add up. Kalamazoo needing to respond with some pressure and some shots on Detroit's net if they want to keep this first half looking competitive. Back line of Kalamazoo with it. Played back into Junk. Slowly approaching, but taking their time to keep possession with them as they're going to play a ball up to Corhorn, but Corhorn slipping up and losing it. Into Avery Peters now it goes with Detroit. Looking to set something up over the middle. A bad bounce going to be read by Cunningham. Cunningham going to play this one into a Mockery. A Mockery gives something to Corhorn over the middle, but well defended. Use of the body from Detroit's back line. And once again, keeping everything right in front of them. Making it hard for Kalamazoo to get around. Cunningham looking like she could take advantage, but then defenders slipping up. Nobody trying to get a collision that's going to make any injury. So Detroit going to take possession. Cunningham was looking for a call, not going to get it though. Peters with the ball. Trying to get something over middle of the field. She's going to look there for Childers. Childers over the middle now. She's got it into Hannah Crum. Crum going to have a defender slide tackling. Once again, Mackenzie Ford going to use the right foot, deflect this one out of bounds. And far in this first half has been possession time for Detroit. When they've had it inside and around the 18, they make their uses well noticed. Played outside. And Corhorn going to poke this one out with the use of the head. Mockery giving chase, but then played back, giving more room for Detroit now. Cunningham giving chase as Corhorn also joined up top, defending Peters. Peters going to play something over to Paget on that left side. Paget now going to try and shake and bake her way around. However, Kyla Newcomb right at her, and she's going to try and set Cunningham up with something over the middle. However, Solis just going to give in to Peters. Xavier Peters now with it, crossing middle of the field. Kalamazoo just going to let her drive it into their zone, but well defended and sought out by number 2, Claudia Musig. Sent out of bounds, so Detroit going to get another chance here with the toss in their attacking zone. Paget looking over the middle. She's going to shoot something. Looking to test on that zone. However, it's going to be well outside of the post. Junk making the jumping attempt. However, not finding anything inside the post was the shot. As wrapped up over the middle of the field, and the card going to come out to play. As it's going to be a card coming out into play. Kalamazoo UFC taking over. As Kalamazoo looking to take the momentum here of what's left of it in this first half. 42 minutes approaching the 43rd. Into the extra time of the second half, or first half, excuse me. 47 minutes gone by. Still tied up, but good looks from both these two teams. So we're having a little bit of technical difficulties here up in the press box. Trying to get everything situated out. As technical difficulties started this past week. However, trying to get everything sorted out. Seeming like we may have gotten everything figured out. Possibly here. As this game at hand is very, very entertaining one so far. Just trying to get everything figured out and underway. Still scoreless, though. as it's all the extra time here in the first half. As this player's looking for some water on the sideline. It's very hot and humid here in Kalamazoo, Michigan today. Degrees, but cloudy, a little bit muggy and sticky around here at Mayor's Riverfront Park as Junction to play something in towards Corehorn, but then once again back and forth it goes between these two teams. Detroit going to bump up and lose it away. Then now played something into Cunningham. A slide tackle here from Detroit, and a good one. Going to keep it clean and out of bounds. So last touched by Solis. And now a toss-in coming from Stolfus into Corehorn. As there goes the whistles for halftime that everybody was looking for right towards the end of that first half. However, scoreless it goes in the first half as we'll come back to you guys with half number 2. Try and get the technical difficulties figured out as we got 15 minutes headed your way. Check back into the YouTube live stream here at Kalamazoo FC as we'll try and get everything sorted out and figured away for the second half as still tied in this Great Lakes divisional matchup as Kalamazoo FC chasing the top dogs here, looking to keep their pin down here at Mayor's Riverfront Park, Kalamazoo, Michigan, the location of this USLW matchup. Stick around here on the live stream. We'll be back in 15. We are back here, youtube.com, Kalamazoo UFC's channel, for the second half of this USLW stream in the Great Lakes Division. Or game in the Great Lakes Division, I should say, as it was a very eventful first half. Both teams generating shots, getting openings, and looks at each other, but both these teams still chasing that first goal. We've gone 45 minutes past. Still nothing here to count in the scorebooks, as it's still 0-0. Both these teams chasing each other. Is Kalamazoo looking to get atop the division? Not atop the division, but get up in the ranks against a really good opponent here. Undefeated Detroit City FC. A big win here at home would keep the playoff hopes alive for Kalamazoo FC. So you're going to need some bumps and bruises to go their way here in the second half. Both teams playing aggressive, respectable soccer. 46 minutes gone by in the game, just in the early opening of the second half, as this is going to be Kane with it, going over the middle here to Childers. Childers getting around Stolfus. Stolfus going to keep trying, as Detroit's just going to slow it up. It's just going to roll out of bounds. Last time touched by Detroit City. So Kalamazoo going to get a look here. Needing to keep it safe, have a smart possession here, are the home team Eagles. Junk going to play this short corner. Over to Stolfus. Up and go over the middle to Corhorn. Corhorn slipping up. Good defense played by Childers. It's going to go back into Stolfus and then out of bounds. A little bit of separation there from Ella Kane. Excuse me, that's going to be Romine. So now, Kalamazoo FC going to play something over the middle from Newcomb to Music, right side. She's going to have somebody on the receiving end just a little bit out in front. That's Kennedy Bearden there with the chance, but a little bit out in front from Music. It's all right. Looking to get attacking chances, though. There's Kalamazoo FC. They had one right there. Unable to punctuate again. Detroit trying to get something into their own 18, but this one going to be deflected out by Newcomb. And then a whistle going to come into play. Slide tackle there from Bearden, but the officials just looking to keep it clean, saying go for the ball a little bit more than the feet of the attacker is getting up and going away. It's going to be Murphy of Detroit. Playing well in the back line in the first half was Acadia Murphy. Peters here going to line up and try to take a shot. Get something over the middle. Peters now just going to get this one up and away. And then a second chance shot here, but that's going to be blocked by Brielle Gomez. Rifled off the foot of Childers. So then Murphy going to play a ball over the middle. This one going to be good for Paget, and then a diving save made by Kaylin Junk. As Junk trying to set her team up. She's going to play something left side here. Stolfus over the middle again. Dangerous territory there. Lurking is Detroit. And slipping up goes Kalamazoo. Then a bad pass from Detroit. It's going to be taken away, and Brielle Gomez is going to let this one out of bounds. As Junk going to tie the shoe up before sending this one away. Some action now alongside Brianna Musser. And seems to be Allie French jogging around on that bench for Kalamazoo FC. trying to get up and get active as the hot humidity draining the tanks a little bit quicker compared to other nights that we've had here in Kalamazoo and Mayor's Riverfront Park. As then up all the benches players for Detroit FC loose. As you can see those subs starting to come into play. Starting to play a factor into longevity and endurance. As it's going to be a chess game the rest of this second half, you'd think, between coaching staffs. A toss in that's going to be whistled back from the officials. Kalamazoo still with it, though. This one going to be Kyla Newcomb looking to get something over the middle on that last attempt. We'll see if she's going to go in the same direction here with this one. Setting up, looking like she's going to go deep once again. Over the middle, looking for Musig. And up in the air. Bearden, good attempt, though, but it's going to roll out of bounds. Detroit possession. As it's going to be a quick toss in. And then right back out of bounds it goes. Off the knee, not much they could do right there. A mockery going over the middle here to Musig. Musig going to play something back from Jones. Jones going to switch up, go left side to Stolfus. Stolfus going to cut back in with the right foot, then spin move and go left, trying to get her around. Solis. Maya Solis defending Stolfus. Then she's going to get a little bit of help from Ella Kane, and then out of bounds, last touch by Detroit, so sticking with it. Attacking zone goes Kalamazoo. Going to play something over the middle, looking for a mockery, the Toledo product, then back and forth. It's going to go between teammates. Now something over the box left side, looking for something over the middle. However, Kalamazoo going to get the lane jumped, and it's going to go the other way for Detroit. Detroit trying to set something up over the middle. This one going to be Paget. Then slowing it back down, switching directions, going left sideline. Martin going to play something over the middle, and then that one's going to be rejected to the bottom sideline. Last touch by Gomez. Detroit going to stick with it. Inbounded and sent right back over to Drew Martin. Martin driving left side, looking for something on that baseline. Then it's going to be sent out of bounds by Newcomb, Kyla Newcomb. Good defense out of the soon-to-be Western Michigan player. Still yet to get any NCAA. 4 years at Western Michigan here in the USLW. Has taken on a lot of Division I stars all over this league. She's going to get a lot of different skill gaps, a lot of age range and player selection across the teams in the Great Lakes Division. And if you can push on and into the postseason, see people from other divisions, you get even more talent. Everybody's hunting, looking for that postseason, and we're starting to get into the hunt of it, getting into the middle and later stages of this season. Kalamazoo playing in their 7th match of the year, looking to knock off the top dog, Detroit City FC. 4-0, only 4 matches played, this one being their 5th. Looking to move on to 5-0, but Kalamazoo looking to play a little bit of spoiler to the perfect season. They can get it done here, Mayor's Riverfront Park. The hometown crowd would love to see it. And if they can't get it done, the only other time they're going to get to see the top dog in the Great Lakes Division is going to be later at their home territory, later in the year, last game of the year for Detroit City FC. As it's coming down that left sideline, Stolfus trying to get something over the middle. It's going to be deflected. Detroit going to say it's going to go to them. However, referee's going to say it's going to go be a corner kick here. This one going to be set up. Dangerous territory for Kalamazoo to do something with it. This one's going to be sent in, but taken care of by Detroit as it's going to roll out of the sideline, but still sticking with it goes Kalamazoo sideline. So no corner kick here as Musig looking baseline, but Peters is going to be there to take that one into control for Detroit. There's now some openings over the middle of the field for Detroit to try and play to. However, driving that left sideline goes Detroit. Then they're going to play something over to Ella Kane. And then a good slide tackle is going to be played there from Hannah Thompson, slowing up Detroit's attack. But now lobbed over into the middle. Junk, though, going to take care of it with ease. There's only one attacker for Detroit inside the 18 with a chance at it, but Hannah Crum not able to get to it. Good look, though, for Detroit, as we're still in the opening stages of this second half. 56 minutes gone by, approaching that 57th. Going to get to it before them, but Junk's going to wave her off and pick it up as it's going to go and roll into the 18. Heads up move by Junk, but Crum trying to get on the interior just a little late. Good read by Kaylin Junk. Detroit going to get a takeaway, but a bad pass, and Kalamazoo going to just send it right back up the middle. As getting underneath it was Childers, but then off the foot of Kate Childers, out of bounds it goes. Boot here. Wondering which direction, though, they'll go with it. It's got some players over the middle of the field. Not too much separation, though, in between Detroit and Kalamazoo in terms of areas for Junk to play this one. Junk going to send this one right sideline. However, it's going to roll out of bounds a little bit over the top there for Newcomb. Unable to do anything with it off the foot from Junk. As then Martin going to play this one in. Good defense from Kalamazoo FC. A forced pass, but still sticking with it goes Detroit. As Hannah Crum going to give a valiant effort. As a whistle's going to stop up play here. Officials play here for Detroit City. As that one going to be Hannah Crum pulling it from the official's pocket. As she's going to have to be careful the rest of this one. Still a little bit of time left to go. About 30 minutes or so. And then whatever of extra time here at Mayor's Riverfront Park, as both teams looking for the win. It's going to come down to the games later in the season. You need the wins to start stacking up. If they were to walk out of here with a loss, though, nothing alarming for them. Just the first on the year if they are able to score something, Kalamazoo that is. However, both these teams just looking for that first one. As this one's going to be slipped up on a missed touch there from Romine. Stolf is now trying to go with something down into that baseline and then out of bounds. Last touch by Kalamazoo FC's Ariana Stolfis. So Detroit's going to get something deep inside their defensive area. Kalamazoo needing to keep the pressure on, because if Detroit can slip up, Kalamazoo could hop on top as it's going to be sent out of bounds. Kalamazoo going to stick with it off the foot of Detroit defender. Some substitutions coming into play here. First one of the game for Kalamazoo FC. Allie French going to be checking in here as Kama Mockery jogging to the sidelines. Good 60 minutes out of her today. As some fresh feet in the attacking area for Kalamazoo. In comes French. Allie French looking to expose that back line. As you got to think the stamina starting to get down there into the gas tank of defenders. But having a bench to play with also goes Detroit City, so they can reach into that bag and pull out a couple of good defenders sitting down on that bench. As off the toss in, there's going to be a whistle. It's going to free up some space and give a deep free kick, but free kick nonetheless in possession back to deep that right sideline. Trying to get it over the middle of the field goes Detroit, but a bad touch and a takeaway from Stolfis. Stolfis looking for Corhorn over the middle, but back and forth between two teams it goes. And then good teamwork from Kalamazoo to work it back in their favor. A couple of bounces, and Detroit's going to take over once again, sending something over the middle of the field. And Ford's just going to get this one, so needing to play something up the field. She's going to do exactly that, bouncing off of a couple. It goes. Possession's going to be won by Detroit, though. Shriver's going to send something far up the field and into the offensive zone for Detroit. And then Kalamazoo going to take away off a couple of bad touches. Jones going to play something up that left side to Musig. Musig having a couple of steps between her and the defender. A good ball played over to that back post area, but nobody on the receiving end. Nice ball from Musig. As physical soccer being played now, and a slide tackle, it's going to send it out of bounds. Great defense from Corhorn. .62 minutes gone by here in half number 2 between this Great Lakes divisional matchup in the USLW. Kalamazoo FC chasing top dog in 4-0 Detroit City FC. Detroit looking to keep that perfect season rolling. So they're getting into the middle stages of their year. Only about a month or so of play left here in the USLW, and then playoffs for the teams that are able to make it. As the division getting 1.5 bids, they're going to have to try and get something over the Heartlands Conference to see if our second place from the Great Lakes can get over the Heartlands Conference. Detroit playing with it near that left sideline. And a bad touch. Kalamazoo trying to take over. French, though, hitting the floor. And a whistle going to come into play once again. Kalamazoo going to win back possession off the whistle of the official. Kalamazoo FC going to get something off the free kick here into Musig. Having some separation now. Thompson, middle of the zone, going to send a shot over toward Shriver's way. But a diving save made out of Detroit City's keeper. Good way to keep it in front of her. Good use of the dive. Now Detroit trying to get something in their own attacking zone, but deflected by Mackenzie Ford. Good defense. Corner kick, though, for Detroit in the start this coming possession. This one's going to be Paget. Paget going to play something, looking to get over top of Junk, but she's going to start Kalamazoo's possession off rather safely. As she's looking to see which way, she has a couple of options. Then she's going to drop this one and bring it out herself a little bit outside the 18. So no drop kick. She's just going to play this off the ground. Sort of like a driver off the fairway into the attacking zone of Kalamazoo, but right side it goes for Kennedy Bearden. So unable to get something over, as Detroit's trying to argue that Bearden was offsides. However, not getting the call, as the back line defenders and goalie for Detroit not liking the call, trying to argue it. And now Shriver getting back into the net as corner kick's going to come into play. So some controversy late stage of this one. Half number 2, about halfway through. Going to be sent in off the foot of Stolfus. Back post. But a diving effort by Shriver. Going to knock this one out of play. As may have been a collision in the net, though, but getting back up goes Shriver. And another corner kick here for Kalamazoo FC. Far corner, though. 66 minutes gone by. Looking for this first score. Dangerous attempt here for Kalamazoo, and then the whistle's going to come into play. Officials not liking what they're seeing going on inside the box. It's going to be an off-ball whistle here. Talking between number 6, Kate Childers, and Kennedy Bearden. So, these two getting a little physical with each other inside the 18. Ball that's going to be sent straight into the side of. However, getting back on defense and looking to keep everything in front of them and make it difficult for this possession here for Detroit. However, having good looks in the first half and some here in the second. Looking to get the numbers to start adding up, though, are both these teams. Still looking for the first goal, though, as a couple of shots on goal and shots for both these two teams. Starting to get a little bit later and into the benches. Kalamazoo making the first substitutions. Still waiting for a couple to come in, as everybody's been getting up on the bench. And now it's Ship. A ball over, played into Corhorn. However, Shriver's going to get to it. As official coming in to talk to Corhorn now. Getting a little close to Shriver. As fans really starting to get into this one here. As we start getting closer and left to go here. Approaching that 68th minute. As Jones going to try and get this one for Kalamazoo, but Detroit going to win it back. Good spacing here along that left side. A ball that's sent into the box, but a defender for Kalamazoo going to get underneath it. A shot going to come out, but Junk making a good save there. An easy save right at her. Nothing too hard for Kaylin Junk between the posts. Keeping it clean, though. Kalamazoo, Michigan. Mayor's Riverfront Park, the location. Kaylin Junk and Gabrielle Shriver having absolute masterclass games between the posts. Everybody's dodging and diving, weaving between things, off corner kicks. I mean, it's impressive stuff here today from both of these goalies. Both these women in between the posts have something to brag about, but can get the one that's going to put them ahead of each other. It could be just a 1-0 game that does it, the way these two teams have been playing. As it can be dropped by the official. A good ball played over left side. Looking there for Musig. Musig's going to be defended by Paget. Paget going to play this right side. Rolling along that sideline, but staying in. And now over the middle of the field with it goes Detroit. Having numbers up top. Well defended, though. Hannah Thompson take away. Kalamazoo a little bit of room. Mackenzie Ford going to go left side here to Ariana Stolfus. Stolfus back into Ford. Ford going to fake into the sideline and give back to keeper Kaylin Junk. Junk's going to try and get this one out. A little bit close as the pressure's on from Detroit now. Kenzie Ford looking for Stolfus, but that's going to wind up out of bounds. Detroit City going to be the last ones to touch it, as it's actually going to be an off-ball foul. Kalamazoo a little bit out in front of it, so the official's going to make him set it back a little deeper. Kenzie Jones now just going to play it back into Junk. Let Junk set something up. She's got Newcomb over the bottom of the field. As this one now played up and over into the front. Away by Detroit. So wasteful in possession goes Kalamazoo FC. Now, here goes a chance as to fund into the game for Detroit City. Slipping up a bad touch, but still sticking with it. Inside the 18 was Detroit and then sent out of bounds. So Detroit's still going to stick with it possession-wise, is just resetting. Bouncing now to Childers. Childers trying to get something inside. This one going to go to Defund. Defund over the middle and then popped up in the air. Good defense played by Kalamazoo FC. It's inside the middle. It seems to be Claudia Musing. And up top it goes to Kennedy Bearden. Giving chase down that left sideline. It goes for Kalamazoo FC. Then taken away by Detroit. Avery Peters now coming down their left sideline. And then a bad pass from Peters. Going to be taken away and sent out of bounds. Kalamazoo going to stick with possession as it's last touched here by Detroit City, as Brooklyn Whitehead going to check into the game here now, as taking a seat is going to be Kennedy Bearden. Good minutes out of Bearden. 71 minutes into this game, as Whitehead's going to have some fresh legs in that attacking half for Kalamazoo FC. This one's going to be sent out of bounds. Good grab there down on the bench by Callie Cunningham. Sent right at her. Maybe put her in between the posts. As a good attacking chance there for Kalamazoo FC, but well defended by Detroit. Corhorn, everybody knowing what Bailey can do. I mean, draping defenders all over her. When she gets something inside of the 18, I mean, you really got to get a body on her. As trying to go back to Corhorn, it goes off Corhorn to Whitehead, and then a bad bounce. Detroit going to take possession back over. This one, Emily Paget. She's just going to play it to Fun to Peters. Peters going to switch up sides. A little bit over top of who she was trying to get it to on that far sideline. Then Claudia Musi going to take away. A bad bounce for Detroit, and it's going to go back in that corner. Stolfus looking to send it into the back post, but deflected and out of bounds. So corner kick here now coming for Kalamazoo FC. Scoreless, folks. Man, oh man, we're getting into these later stages. Minute by minute, and still no score. So the one to separate these two teams could be the one to do it. You never know. Still a lot of time for these two teams. 73 minutes. Going to have 17 minutes and whatever of extra time the official's willing to give. This one's going to be a chance here for Thompson. A diving Shriver making the save. A good shot on goal there for Kalamazoo FC. The chances keeping adding up off the foot that last time by Mackenzie Jones. As she's going to be with it in the middle of the field. Jones, that is, trying to find Corhorn. Bad bounce in the air. One again, right? One after another. As Newcomb trying to find Corhorn in the middle of the field. Detroit going to take possession over. As some tripping up in that near sideline. These fans really starting to get into each other now. Each one, seeing what these two teams have against each other in this game. I mean, it's just great defense, athletic plays, and athleticism all over the field. Bailey Corhorn with it. Attacking side of the field for Kalamazoo FC. They're going to play a ball up to Whitehead, but offside's going to be the call from the official. Dangerous chance there for Kalamazoo FC, but needing to keep it on sides is Whitehead for the Eagles. Just trying to get to it. So that one was played a little bit out in front of her, so you can't blame Whitehead for trying to go out and get that one. However, just a little offsides. The official's going to make that call every time. This ball is going to be sent well into the other side. Kalamazoo's defensive zone now. Going to send this one down the sideline, then get it back. And into the goalkeeper it goes from the back line. Then out of bounds. Last touch by Junk, so wasteful right there off the goalkeeper. Now she's going to have some dangerous attacking minutes. But before that, there's going to be a water break. So when we come out of the water break, Detroit going to have dangerous possession. But until then, we're going to take a break and take a minute to thank our sponsors here in first goal are both these two teams. We'll be back after the water break here on the YouTube channel and the live stream for Kalamazoo FC. As coming out of the water break, Detroit seeming a little eagerly to get back into play. Both these two teams trying to get back into this one. Detroit coming out a little bit more eagerly from the water break than the Eagles. So seeing if they got something set up in these late stages of the game. 77 minutes gone by, approaching that 78th. As the toss in now here. As it's going to go into the 18. Then out of bounds is going to be the call. Minutes gone by. Later and later we get into this one, still scoreless. Both these two teams looking for the answer against one another. Who's it going to be? Coming into the winding down stages of this one. The top dogs, Detroit, looking to keep their season perfect. 4-0 on the year. Kalamazoo trying to play spoiler and get a big win at home. As a good takeaway here. Ball played into Bailey Corhorn, left side of the 18. Looking like she's going to take it on. Plays something into Whitehead, but deflected. Shriver going to make the easy grab. So a moment of hope here at home for the Eagles. However, shriveled away. Shriver making the easy grab out of the deflected ball in the middle of the air. Gomez going to pop this one back up. Looking for Corhorn. Deep in that attacking zone. However, coming down with it is Peters and company. And back on that far sideline it goes now for Detroit. Childers with it. Going to play over on that sideline. A ball going to be sent over Gomez's way. Taking a bad bounce. But good defense and a good read by Newcomb to hop back on top of the lost defender through the traffic, as Romine having a dangerous attacking chance. However, bounces in the way of the Eagles. Detroit looking for that attacking chance still. Almost having a slip up from the Eagles right there, but hopping back on top. And a sigh of relief now for the faithful Eagles at home. A ball that's going to be played back into Mackenzie Ford and then back into Kalen Junk. Got to be careful with it. Detroit giving pressure in their attacking zone. They're going to find something with Newcomb over the middle. And a lot of space now for Kyla Newcomb to go about it. She's going to look to go right side to Musig. Claudia Musig with. Going to circle back around and just play smart soccer with it here in the later stages. Gomez now hurrying up and going to go over to the left side with Stolfus. Ariana Stolfus out of Spring Arbor. Going to play it back into the Grand Valley defender in Mackenzie Ford, and then right back to Stolfus it goes. And then bounced out of bounds. Still with possession though, Kalamazoo FC well inside their attacking zone, looking to set up an opportunity. A couple of players where Whitehead can go about it. So there's going to be a whistle from the officials. As it's just going to be a corner kick. "81 minutes. And a corner kick attempt here for Kalamazoo FC. A ball played well with some people on the receiving end. However, Kalamazoo FC not able to get anything on and underneath it. But another attempt here as Detroit sends it out of bounds outside their own baseline. Kalamazoo switching up how they want to go about it. Who's going to send this one into the 18? As three different players now. Jones, Stolfus, and French. This one's going to be sent into the 18, looking for that back post. Players around it. However, Shriver's just going to punch this one out, and a good look from Hannah Thompson. These corner kicks keep getting more dangerous and dangerous as they keep adding up for both these teams, and the clock keeps going the other way. Both these teams running out of it. 82 minutes approaching the 83rd. What's in store for the rest of this one here at Mayor's Riverfront? Some substitutions now, as Megan Miles going to check in here for Detroit City FC, as taking a bench and a well-deserved break from this one. Hot and humidity is Kate Childers. She's going to sit down, as Miles is going to be checking in for some minutes late into this one, so some fresh legs now onto the field for Detroit. As it rolls out of bounds, Kalamazoo still sticking with it. Newcomb on the toss-in, looking for Whitehead. Whitehead going to take a bad bounce off the foot. This is going to be slipped up, and Romine going to take possession back for Detroit. Peters now, a bad pass that she's going to be a little late on, and now something attacking zone here for Kalamazoo FC. A good ball played in off the toss for Whitehead, as it's going to bounce off to Flint. Kalamazoo getting off and into it, as it's last touch by Kalamazoo FC. A good deflection off defenders and then back to the attacker. That's going to wind up rolling and bouncing into Detroit's favor. 83 minutes, approaching that 84th. Ticking down minute by minute as we get into the later stages. So now Music with some space on that right side, looking for Whitehead. However, getting to it before Whitehead's going to be Alex DeFun's going to send something over into Newcomb's territory. Kalamazoo FC going to slip off a bad touch. And then a bad pass rolling out of bounds. Kalamazoo FC going to stick with it now. Back into the attacking zone it goes for the Eagles. Newcomb with it. She's going to play over to Whitehead. Thompson goes back to Music. Music's going to play to Whitehead, as they had Corhorn roaming in that 18 on the left side. Wasteful in possession. The other way with it near midfield. Now with it, Steffen. She's seeing some minutes here in the second half. As also Tafund with it down that left sideline. She's going to send something into the 18 and inside the 6, but making the grab there goes Kaylin Junk. Good work from both goalkeepers here so far tonight. So we're almost expired with regular time and going into extra time. Still got 5 minutes though. Now a ball played off the foot of Miles, going to be deep and into the attacking zone of Detroit, but a little too deep. Walking away with it goes the goalkeeper, Kaylin Junk. Junk's going to get something over the middle of the field. Here's going to be Corhorn with it. She's going to bring it down and play it back into her midfielders, and then slowing things back up and into the back line goes Kalamazoo FC. Mackenzie Jones slowly approaching, trying to find her opening. She's going to play it slowly back into Kyla Newcomb. Newcomb now looking there for Whitehead. Whitehead's going to let this one get around her, and she's going to get around a diving defender. Something played over the middle, and nobody on the receiving end. However, a bad bounce off a Detroit defender. Claudia Music trying to get this one back for Kalamazoo, keeping it in the attacking zone. Hannah Thompson with it, slicing past defenders. And then a foot's going to get on it for Detroit. Sent back out and into the attacking zone once again for Kalamazoo FC. However, Romine going to hop back on top, and then out of bounds it goes. Last touch by Sophia Romine. So Kalamazoo still their attacking zone, playing something off the sideline, trying to get it into the 18. Left side it goes with Stolfus. Stolfus going to get tripped up. Official's going to say clean tackle though. 87 minutes gone by. So whistle now from 87 minutes approaching that extra time. We'll see how much is going to be left into this game. As it's with Kalamazoo on that sideline in their attacking zone. A ball played into Corhorn. Bailey, though, going to get a bad touch, and this one slipped up, but a good slide tackle. Body's hitting the floor here later in the stages. Fans not happy with it. Kyla Newcomb having a lot of space on that right side. She can turn and burn them. She's got some speed, folks. She's going to play a ball into Brooklyn Whitehead. Whitehead going to go to that right side. Peters, some good defense. Kyla Newcomb going to play one, trying to get that back post, but that's going to be deep. Looking for Corhorn. Good looks here from Kalamazoo FC as we're getting later and later into this second half. Looking for the extra time. Both these two teams trying to get out in front of one another. You got to think the one that's going to be put into the back of the net can do it for either of these squads. It's getting intense and into the crunch time. Final minute of regular time going to be played out here. Shriver, company, still slowly approaching. So we'll see which way. Officials looking towards the sideline. They're going to whistle them back into play. As you got to think that extra time's just getting deeper and deeper as it approaches closer and closer. Corhorn here with something inside the 18 almost. Right on the edge. Good defense played by Detroit. Detroit going to play something in along that sideline. Stefan going to send something atop the 18. She's going to have bodies underneath it. That's going to be Romine. But Romine, bad touch out of the air. Rolling back the junk. Gomez trying to get something up to Music. Going to take a bad bounce and over to Fund it goes. To Fund's just going to send this one out of bounds and let Detroit's defensive unit reset. As we're going to have 4 minutes of extra time here to play. Got to think one of these two teams got to have a possession a little bit safer, a little bit closer, a little more talking a little bit more. So Card's going to come out to play, possibly. Seems like officials are digging into their pockets. However, more conversation in between these two officials. As now some more conversation in between these two officials, trying to get it sorted out down there on the field. Time's going to keep ticking down. Some confusion down on the pitch between these two teams. Fans want to get back inside of it. Now a yellow card's going to come out into play, as that one going to be towards the coaching staff of Detroit FC. Has some frustration between both these two teams and the fans. I mean, officials got to be careful not to lose control of this one in the later stages. It's these two teams barking now between each other. As Newcomb going to try and play this into the attacking zone. Looking for Whitehead, but it's going to be sent right back out of bounds. Kyla Newcomb looking to set Kalamazoo up with the one that's going to win them against the top dogs in the Great Lakes. Newcomb plays something over the middle. Poked out, though, by Detroit. Good crossing attempt as a shot's going to be rung off deep from range here. It's a little bit sloppy and wasteful in possession into the extra time. There's not going to be much of it. Last I was signaled it's going to be 4 minutes. However, a little bit of stoppage into the extra time. As a slide tackle, the fans going to let their opinions be heard. However, officials going to let him play on. Into Whitehead it goes for Kalamazoo FC. Now Newcomb trying to get something along that sideline, and it's just going to roll out of bounds. As this one's going to set up for to Fund off the inbound. And then Peters just going to send this one right back out of bounds. Frustration showing on the face of Avery Peters right there. She was looking for that one to go down the field. Instead, Corhorn with a chance here, trying to set up Whitehead. However, sent out of bounds by Detroit. Approaching the 93rd minute of extra time. Newcomb's just going to play something into the middle here. Hannah Thompson. Defenders all over. Now Claudia Music with it, creating a little bit of room. Kalamazoo FC is going to try and switch up sides of the field. Stolfus with it, left side. She likes to drive that left baseline. However, she's going to stumble up and slow up a little bit. Playing it back into a defender. As a little bit of a slip up and then sent right back into Whitehead. It goes off the foot of Brielle Gomez. Brooklyn Whitehead fighting two Detroit defenders down there. However, Detroit going to have it rolling back their way, back and forth between two teams. It goes middle of the field. On that sideline, the close sideline for Kyla Newcomb. Good piece of defending here from Sophia Romine. And then a long ball played over, looking on that sideline for Corhorn. Bailey Corhorn driving the right side. Going to have a defender all over her. And the whistle's going to come into play before it rolls out of bounds. It's going to go back into Detroit's possession. Peters setting up for a free kick here. Barely off the sideline. Officials going to let him come into play here. 94th minute now, so it could be any time. Both teams looking for the one. Gomez a little confused on where the ball went behind her. Up in the air it goes. Gomez tracking it once again. Gomez going to try and set her team up. Gives to Music. Music plays a good ball down the sideline. Nobody giving chase, though. As this one's still going to stick inbound. Shriver going to wave on her teammate. That one going to be Tafun to try and go get that one out of the corner. Tafun's going to play this one. Newcomb going to have a bounce. As it's looking for the sideline, the official's going to call it. Kyla Newcomb plays it in, but the official's going to whistle this one dead and make Kyla Newcomb go a little bit deeper. Newcomb going to play this one into Corhorn. Corhorn, last touch, and then giving up to Peters. A good ball fake now. Detroit having some room down that sideline. This one's going to be number 16, Burnthouse. Here as Mackenzie Jones going to win this one back for Kalamazoo FC. And then Brielle Gomez going to play it down the sideline, and the whistle's going to come out to play, and we're all tied dead even at nothing. It was a good one. Nobody able to find a productive goal in this matchup, as these fans only going to see this game one more time this year. And I mean, man, is it going to be special. Not able to find anything in this one. So the next match between these two teams, I mean, it should be a defensive one, as it's going to be a tie on the year for Detroit City FC. The first one they've had all year. I mean, they're still riding the perfection streak, only a tie to their name, as it's going to move to 4-0-1 for Detroit City. Kalamazoo going to move now to 3-2-2 on the year. So Kalamazoo going to get a point, move up and above Ann Arbor in the point standings, but everybody winding down in the seasons. In this game, I mean, that meant a big ordeal for us to get a win here, or Kalamazoo, or, I mean, just both these two teams to get a win here. As that one kind of stinging a little more for the Eagles at home, knowing how big this game was for them. However, a tie going to be better than a loss for the Eagles, so some positive things to look at. The attacking numbers, I mean, you got to be impressed with against a good team that's only let in one goal all year. But what an absolute electric game here at Mayor's Riverfront Park. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into this one. My name's Sebastian O'Leary, as the next time we're going to see you here at Mayor's Riverfront is going to be tomorrow, as the men's team taking on Midwest United. And that's going to be another big game here at Mayor's Riverfront, as the top dog on the men's side of the Great Lakes Division for USL 2 going to be welcomed in, as Kalamazoo, the men's side, looking to keep their playoff hopes alive as well. So both these two teams here today tying, nothing going on, but we'll see you here tomorrow against Midwest United. A men's match here, 7 o'clock start. Mayor's Riverfront Park, the location. But you can always tune back in here to Kalamazoo FC's YouTube, as we'll be streaming it live here tomorrow. As once again, my name's Sebastian O'Leary. Thank you to everybody tuning in and sticking around with us, as we will see you here tomorrow. Thank you, everybody.